I'm going to talk about the fastest, lowest risk method for selling on Amazon. Hi, I'm Ann Sieg of the E-Commerce Business School. We've trained over 8,000 students over the past 8 years. And through that time, I've spoken with hundreds of people who are evaluating selling on Amazon for the very first time ever. And I want to share with you what I often hear and the potential pitfalls that they can fall in very, very quickly. All right, you need to know, first of all, in order to be able to sell on Amazon, you're going to have to source products. Source means to find. And so you're going to have to find products that you'll be able to sell on Amazon. What you want to be concerned about, you probably already know. You want to make sure you don't lose money, you actually make money. So that's going to be number one. You also want to make sure that they're going to sell quickly. You don't want them to put money into products that just sit there in the Amazon warehouse and not selling, and hence hurting your bottom line. So I want to parse this out, as you may have seen some previous information about Amazon and feel a little bit confused. I hope that through this video you get a clearer picture and understanding of how selling on Amazon works and what I feel is the fastest, lowest risk method of all. I liken it to a swimming pool, alrighty? So in a swimming pool, you've got a shallow end, and then as you go out into that pool, you're going to go into a deeper and deeper end, and as you know, that's where the diving board is, right? So this is going to be the more risky method, is going to be over on the far right, where you can jump into that pool, and if you don't know how to swim properly, you can drown. Well, the same is true in business. You can jump into a very advanced method that really, maybe for all intent and purposes, you really don't belong in that deep end of the pool. Right? Instead, you ought to be over on the shallow end of the pool. But it's kind of that thing, you don't know what you don't know. So I'm going to help walk you through this. There's a whole number of methods. So I'm going to start with easy and move into more advanced, and I'm going to put them right underneath our swimming pool analogy. And by the way, through the past 8 years, we've taught all these methods that I'm going to share with you. So here we go. On the far left, in the shallow end of the pool, we've got something that's called arbitrage. And that's just kind of a fancy word that means flipping. It means you're going to buy low and you're going to sell high. You've heard of flipping houses. You buy up a house low, you fix up the house, you turn around and sell it for a profit. In this case, you're going to invest money into a product that is lower than what it's selling for on Amazon, and then you're going to flip and sell for a profit. There's a lot to know within that, which we teach, but that's what happens there. So you might buy from some online website for 13 bucks a product, and you turn around and sell it for $36 on Amazon. That's arbitrage. Next would be wholesale. So I'm sure you've probably heard of wholesale, and by the way, when you go out into the industry, you start getting bombarded with ads, right? And what's going to happen is there's going to be a wholesale queen will show up. Okay, and I call it a one-stop shop guru, where you've got, and I mean that respectfully, they have mastered one particular method, and they've got wholesale. They kind of hang their shingle out in the industry, and I'm the wholesale queen. And wholesale is basically when you buy in large quantities of something that you believe is going to sell, and maybe you tested with a small amount, and you're like, wow, this is a hot seller, and now there you have to build up the relationship with the wholesale supplier and get started in wholesaling. There's a lot of skill to this. And please note, with each one that I mention, it becomes riskier and riskier, and the reason for the greater risk is because there's more variables for something to go wrong. So with arbitrage, there's the least amount of variables for something to go wrong. Wholesale, you have more risk. Next one would be, you all know what this is, you've probably heard of it, and that's private label. And you're going to see all sorts of training out there for private label. And again, we have taught private label. These are all these methods work, but you need to know that each one carries more subsequent risk. For private label, the risk is that to bring that product to market after doing a massive amount of research, because it's really who knows how to best research, who knows what data to look for, that's going to be able to make the savviest business decision. It is a skill set. It's developed over time, and it's more risky because you have to order more. You have to order larger quantities. They're not just going to go and create these products without a bit of money down. All right, so you might do what's called OEM, original equipment manufacturing, and we've taken people to China to do just that. Well, here's the problem there. You get that project started and your product isn't actually created and done within, let's say, 9 months, and you finally get it to market, and the marketplace will have already changed significantly. And so your product that you put all that effort into may or may not end up succeeding. It has more risk. And I've seen a lot of failure happen with that particular model. There's liquidation. And liquidation is when you can go to a trade show and find products that people are liquidating out of their wholesale business or retail business, and you're able to, they're wanting to liquidate and they give it at a really low price. There too, it's all about who knows the data, who's willing to do that, the research and the data. There's two, maybe not as risky as private label because you're not having to buy as big a quantity, but that's liquidation. There's drop shipping, which in what we teach is print on demand is a form of drop shipping. And there are some benefits of that with drop shipping and print on demand, but it's going to take a tremendous amount of testing, and you put your investment into designs. You're kind of throwing a lot of designs up against the wall via Amazon listings and see which listings will convert. So that's print on demand, and then you could even add in sourcing from China, which has, and that to some extent can fit under private label, because many people source from China, but that became a little more problematic during this entire pandemic. But all of this being that all of these lead to increasing levels of risk, right? And so really it's more experienced sellers who would be better positioned to utilize one of these methods. But if you're new and unsuspecting, you have no idea. So what I'm trying to do here is create a frame of understanding. A frame of understanding of this big whole world of sourcing and selling on Amazon, and with that hope, that expectation that you're going to make money off of this as a seller on Amazon. Now, we land squarely with the arbitrage method, and what I also like about with regard to arbitrage is because it's simpler, you can get into cash flow so much faster. Where were we at? Private label, you may not even be getting your listing up on Amazon until 9 months later, after you place your order. And you're having this product created for yourself. So there can be this great delay in time, and in business, business loves speed. You want to get speed to market. Speed to market is the name of the game. So with arbitrage, you're able to flip these products very quickly. Some of our top sellers, they watch their turn rate, and it's turned in a 30-day period at a 25% profit doing arbitrage. So arbitrage fits very beautifully into our 3 pillars of e-commerce success. And this is what lends us to helping our members set up automated Amazon businesses first, before they move into these more advanced methods. And in this way, we turn around that failure rate that we see out there in the industry, is because we set them with success with arbitrage, and that first pillar is they're going to build cash flow, and cash flow is king, and you got to see that. So here you got a big wait period with private label. With arbitrage, you got 30 days, and you are leveraging existing listings on Amazon of products that are already selling. Now the second one is where we're going to automate systems. So because we have the ease of arbitrage, you can start automating your business much sooner than somebody else. They're not even in cash flow. When you get that cash flow, you can now start using that cash flow to further solidify your business, to create what we call pillar number 3 is assets. All right. So here, just to create a point of contrast, we might have someone who's endeavoring in the private label world. They're a first time ever Amazon seller. And they're going to go through all this work to get what they think is going to be a product that will sell on Amazon. It finally gets to the Amazon marketplace, say 9 months later. And in the meantime, the person over here that has jumped into the arbitrage method through our trainings, oops, this should say e-commerce success, they're going to have a massive leg up from this person who has taken on a lot of risk, They don't know what they don't know. And here, this person, we do a 90-day peak performance mentoring within 90 days of being able to set up, get into cash flow, and automate your systems within 90 days. Compared to someone else who is over here, got a wait time of potentially 9 months as they wait for their private label product to get into the Amazon marketplace. So to recap, this is the fastest, lowest risk method for selling on Amazon, bar none, is the arbitrage method. And I want you to know we've been teaching arbitrage for 8 solid years. And I want to hit on a really important point. I've been an online marketer for coming on 17 years now. I thought that this would fatigue in the marketplace, what we call saturation. It's never happened. And the reason is because of the mammoth growth of Amazon. And we just had a gal who single-handedly did $620,000 in sales with the arbitrage method. And it's just a rinse and repeat cash flow machine for her and her family. So if you like this information, you can go to joinebs.com. You'll be taken to our homepage for the e-commerce business school, where we have a tremendous amount of free training. We have case studies, we have gifts for you there. So go to joinebs.com. It used to be said if you're not online, you're not in business. That's from like 15 years ago. All right, now it's that if you're not on Amazon, you're not in business.
Regardless of that big dream, you've got to build a foundation. You have to have a business that has cash flow.
You need more cash? Go out and source some more. Shove those products into Amazon, what's going to spit out the other end is profit. It's that simple, isn't it?
Then they start looking at it as, this really is a system. So how can I add more to my system? How can I start to scale this?
That's why this is so integral, each pillar leading up sequentially to that long-term reliable business.
These are the real assets then that somebody who wants to buy a business, this is what they look for.
This is the brand launcher, the career launcher, the income launcher. It's a beautiful thing. And I know you're going to love what this can do for you. You're going to get a vision. You're going to get a vision to grow your business, to sell it for a profit. Kind of show your pals, your friends, your family.
Yes, you can make $1 million just selling on Amazon alone.